Hey guys, welcome back Around the Drum. I'm Tay, this is David, and that is Jay, and we're back around the drum for another Casual Friday. We are coming off a local festival here in Appleton, Wisconsin called Mile of Music, and it basically, if you haven't heard of this, it's a festival we have every year in the beginning of August that showcases probably 100 maybe? Dozens of artists at dozens of shows. And
there are like 500 or 700 performances or something. I don't know how many bands that there are involved in that, but yeah, it's 100. A lot. It's a lot of music.
And so, I've read something on average, 80,000 people come downtown here for this festival throughout the whole thing, not all at one time, but
right.
That's a huge number.
So there are venues stretching all downtown Appleton here, and hence it's about approximately a mile, so they call it Mile of Music. And there are bands come in from all over the country and local artists too, but they play all original music. And we get to sponsor a band every year, and we sponsored Arts Fishing Club this year. And
where's the sticker?
Oh, the sticker's somewhere.
Okay.
Maybe we'll put it on the drum.
The
Who
shirt's
knows?
cooler anyway. So.
Yeah. So we sponsored them, and they ended up hosting a pop-up show here during Mile of Music. It was on Saturday.
Yeah, totally last-minute planned kind of thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sounded really good, though. I mean, those guys are talented.
Nice. It was an acoustic set for them, so it's something they weren't used to and doing very often. But I think
it was something they weren't planning on doing.
No, they weren't planning on it.
It was pretty cool how they just threw it all together, and they were very good. And
yeah, thanks to David for making it all work out.
It was mostly
audibly, but no, they sounded great. The acoustic set was awesome. I think we also had a local band, a ukulele duo, come in the store and play too. So that was exciting. So overall,
Creative Acoustics. That's my daughter's band.
Yep, it's Jay's band. Or
Jay's
daughter's band.
Believe me, I'd like to be in it, but
that would be kind of weird. What would you play?
Drums.
Drums. Okay.
Yeah, percussion.
Makes sense. So it was awesome. We had a really good time. We met a lot of bands. They came in the store, and we got to chit-chat and see what they're up to, what they're doing, what they want, like what they're looking for. So overall, it was a great experience. So David's phone's going off because Hollywood's calling, clearly.
Right.
One of these days, he'll remember to silence his phone.
I better turn my alarm off, too. Every day I have an alarm go off to tell me to open the store. So
yeah, this is his Monday through Friday pillbox.
Yeah.
Open the store. So anyway, we had a really good time. It was a great weekend.
A lot of fun.
Yeah. So
yeah.
And so if you're in the area during Mile Music, it's every year, usually first weekend of August.
Right.
And it starts on Thursday.
Thursday.
If you're in the area,
Sunday.
it's a good time. It's fun. It's a lot of indie rock.
I've heard a lot of names, a lot of descriptions thrown around. Americano.
Yeah.
Americano.
Americano.
Isn't that a coffee drink?
Yeah. Colombiano.
We hear folk, indie rock, alternative. Just
Indie folk. Isn't that just Americana?
I don't know. Everyone has their own definition. So tell us what you think. Mile Music is classified as, please, because we don't know.
Tay just hit the abort button. He went from trying to describe it to I don't know.
Well, I'm curious as to what people actually think.
There's a wide range of stuff there.
Yeah.
Not metal though.
No
metal. Sorry,
but
David.
There are some venues around here that they do an anti-Mile of Music, and
wow, man,
yeah,
that's so cutting edge.
It's kind of like just a metal focused shows. So like the metalheads have something to do for the weekend. So
yeah. Because they
that's
listen
hilarious.
To metal
like they couldn't figure out
24/7.
anything else to do.
No.
Yep.
There's other concerts going on, so they've got to have concerts too.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It gets people to the shows though. I mean, those shows are always packed. So it's cool.
It is, and there's such a party atmosphere down here during the whole Mile of Music that it's a lot of fun just to be down here, even if you don't like that kind of music.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, enough about that.
Jay, I see you have another to-do list over there. So let's hear something.
Okay.
What do you got?
Did you guys look at any of this? I don't think I shared any of this with you. Well, okay, I'll do the one.
Then we didn't.
Okay, well, I did share one thing with you, so shut up now. Did you watch the video of the Led Zeppelin? What's the name of the song?
Stairway to Heaven?
Yes.
It's a Spirit song called Taurus.
Taurus, yes, a Spirit song called Taurus.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And Led Zeppelin is being sued by them because it's got a similar chord progression.
Yeah.
And did you guys listen to the YouTube clip? Taylor's going to put a link to this below. You should go watch it.
We can link to it, but I don't want to play it.
No. Yeah, you're going to link to it. I got the link right here.
Yeah.
Did you guys listen to that?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And so what did you guys think?
David, go ahead.
Okay, I was going to say...
I'll tell you what I think. I have a very strong opinion, so...
Okay, we'll wait for yours.
Yeah.
I thought they were similar within like the first 3 chord patterns. Like the first descend were both 3 chromatic descends down. But and I also think they were the same key. Mm-hmm. But then it changes pretty drastically after that. I don't know if it's similar enough, but I'm not the judge in their case, so it doesn't matter. Tay, what do you think?
I feel very, very strongly about this sort of thing. I think, like me personally, I would never copy somebody. I would never try to emulate somebody in my own music, saying it's mine. Like I wouldn't. I would very much distance myself from any of that. After listening to this, actually, they sound very similar. You can totally hear that they're in the same circle.
Ballpark.
But I actually agree with the judge in the end of this.
Which judge? The first.
Oh, the
the
first judge.
The first judge ruled that they threw the case out.
Yeah.
Said that
they
which is how these cases have always gone. Unless it's like obvious, like the Queen Vanilla Ice thing. Hopefully that doesn't get taken down. That was real close, right? That was close.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. But. Unless it's like, they lifted that, right?
Yeah.
That was a direct lift.
I thought Vanilla Ice paid royalties too.
No.
He ended up paying royalties.
Oh, yeah,
he got
yeah,
sued and he
Same
lost.
with, what's his name, Hammer, MC Hammer. Did
he really?
Didn't he take
There was a
that
Huey
bass
Lewis
line
in the
too
news one where they won for Back in Time.
No, that was for Ghostbusters.
Was that Ghostbusters? Mm-hmm. Okay, whatever.
But that one, they agreed to not say anything about the case and go forward without issue. But then there was issues that cropped up later.
Are you saying they settled?
Yes, they did.
Okay, so then it wasn't decided in a court of law. Whereas this one was decided originally against Spirit in favor of Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
And then they took it to San Francisco to the Kangaroo Court, and then a judge there ruled that the case could go forward again. So he reopened it.
So I agree with David. Like the bass, that downward descent sounds the same, but everything that's happening on top of it, I think, is totally. It's not totally different, but it's different enough to say these two are different.
Right. I think the only reason that this is in court is because it's such a famous song.
Yeah. Almost the favorite song.
Yeah, that's Led Zeppelin's most famous song. And if it was any like lesser band or lesser song, there's no way they'd be getting sued.
Yeah.
And there's no way that this would be in court at all.
Yeah.
So you want to hear what I think?
We
Yeah.
do.
Well, I think it's obvious. Well, I guess I kind of told you what I think. Kangaroo Court. I think I told you what I think. I think that it's ridiculous that this got reopened.
Yeah.
It's such a common type of chord progression.
Yeah.
And yes, they go in similar steps and everything, but it's so common. It's such a basic element of music that copywriting something like that means all the music that can be written has already been written, in my opinion. So I think if the court rules in favor of Spirit, I think it's dark days for copyright law and dark days for musicians. I think it's terrible, and I hope it's overturned.
Every punk song is gonna be
Absolutely. They're all copying each other. All these things build on each other. There's so much like similarities between bands and songs. This is just ridiculous.
But I think you're right. The only reason this is happening is because it's such a popular song, and someone, honestly, maybe just wants a cut.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know, the Spirit song. Have you ever heard that? It sounded horrible. It sounded like I could barely play guitar. Sorry.
So that was the actual recording?
Yeah.
I thought that was just...
I think so.
I thought it was some guy just playing on
No, it sounds horrible, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's terrible. You could barely play guitar.
One thing I learned,
Like Led Zeppelin said, oh yeah, we could make that better. Let's go lift all the Spirit songs. Come on.
one thing I learned from researching a little bit is in that first case, they have someone come in, excuse me, and play it off of sheet music. They don't do the original recordings. So they come in with some, third party person, and they play the two songs independently off of just sheet music.
That would be interesting.
So you get like this like raw perspective of just like fresh, nothing,
Or
no
even
context.
just a MIDI program to generate notes, like just so objectively that there wouldn't be any difference in how they play it.
So that was interesting to me how that worked, and obviously they'll probably do it again if they're opening this.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I think
It's dumb. It shouldn't go forward.
Kangaroo court.
Like clearly the judge doesn't know anything about music or writing music to have let this go forward, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you disagree with me,
Shots fired.
I'd love to hear it. We can go at it in the comment section.
Yes.
I don't like there. Okay, the reason this also came up is because like hundreds of artists signed a petition, basically big artists. I wrote some down, but there's so many words here I can't find it now, and I don't have my glasses on. But a lot, pretty much universally, everybody's on Led Zeppelin's side because they realize you're not going to be able to write a lot of music anymore if this type of thing is going to be upheld.
Yeah.
So there's that. The next thing I have is I think that for people who are interested in the recording business, Focusrite is obviously one of the big names, and Sound on Sound did this amazing profile piece on Phil Dutteridge. Hopefully I said his name right. He's the guy behind Focusrite. So Focusrite was started by Rupert Neve, and they were insolvent in the 90s, and they were going to go out of business. And then Phil came in, and Phil used to work for Soundcraft, and he was actually, speaking of Led Zeppelin, he was actually he did live sound for Led Zeppelin in the 70s.
It's pretty cool.
So he's got a long history in the music business, and he had kind of made it, and he could have retired at 41. So he was kind of out of the music business, and then Focusrite came up for sale, and he bought it, and he transformed it into what it is. So back then they were just making consoles,
Right.
and so
and the mic it was rap version first.
the almost 500 series but taller.
Yeah.
So they were making those, and Phil came in and he kind of switched everything to the Red series, which is ISA based,
Right.
and transformed the company, and because the console business was dying at that point,
Right.
and Focusrite consoles were super expensive compared to all the other, to SSL and Neve. They were more expensive, and they didn't have the name exactly. So anyway, it's a great piece that people who are interested in the music business should check out because it's really interesting.
So it's an article, or
It's a big article. It's
Okay.
like it's a profile piece on him.
Okay.
And
Cool.
it's very interesting.
Cool.
Manly is re-releasing the dual mono.
Really?
They're doing a limited edition. They're doing this series called the Triple X versions of things for these anniversary series. But the reason this is notable is because the dual mono has been discontinued for a while now, for probably 4 or 5 years, I think.
Okay, well, tell the layperson what the dual mono
Dual
is.
mono is a Class A mic preamp. It's one of my favorite mic preamps in the world. It's just a great tube mic preamp.
The 2-channel?
Yeah, two channel.
And what's cool about the Manly tube stuff is it's not like, it doesn't sound thick and tubey. It's really clean for tube stuff.
Very clean,
Yeah.
and it's just these preamps are amazing. And so if anybody was on the fence, I mean, they're not cheap. They're $3,300 for a dual preamp, but they're that's what if I had one, I would run almost everything. I mean, I would run pretty much everything through it that I could.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like worth it from that perspective if you're recording a lot of one thing at a time, kind of
Okay.
things.
Which most people are.
Yes. And then I'll just say real quick, the last one I have more, but I'll limit it myself to this. Is are you guys familiar with the Sennheiser Ambio VR microphone?
Oh yeah. It's
Okay.
that weird like
No.
Matrix looking thing.
VR.
It's a VR microphone, so that
Virtual
you can.
reality.
Yeah. So you've got your microphone with the however many elements are in it. You feed it into Pro Tools or whatever, and then there's a plugin so that you can move it around. So if you want to record like sound for VR games or VR movies, whatever, you get spatial audio and it's all programmable and everything. Well, they're using that technology now. I think VR's kind of died or down. I wouldn't say it's dead, but it's
Not as
not
popular.
what people thought it was going to be.
Right.
So they're using this technology now in get the name of the car quick here, in cars, which is interesting. And they're going to put it in the Karma Rivero GT, which is like a big fancy sports car kind of thing that's made in California. And they're using it for doing spatial audio inside the car so that you can program it for your sweet spot. your EQ and everything, and your balance, so that you're in the center when you're sitting in the driver's seat.
Of like your radio or something?
Right, for the radio.
And they're all CD player.
And they're also using it so that you can get crystal clear audio. I don't know how, but for phone calls and stuff inside the car. So they're basically doing all this spatial stuff to make sure that you're in the sweet spot.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting, and I'd like to see more about how that works.
Sennheiser.
We'll have to get one of those cars in here to test out, right, Jay?
Yeah, yeah, they're showing it off in like next week. So
Let's go. Let's take the drum.
Yeah.
California, here we go. Okay, that's all I got. What do you have?
Who here? Raise your hands if you use Ernie Ball strings.
Sometimes.
Anybody? Okay, cause let me get this here.
Good job, Tay. Good job.
So, if you guys have noticed before, on the back of Ernie Ball strings, especially the Slinky, there's a whole list of bands that are listed on the back that use Ernie Ball strings.
I think they're different for each type of string too, because I think different artists use different gauge.
They do. And a lot of them are redundant, but they do have what they call this the back of the pack. And I'll probably scroll some names of a list I found. So there's a list on the back of bands that use Ernie Ball strings. Okay. So I
didn't know that. I've been looking at those string packs for decades, and I never noticed
There's this huge section here of bands.
And
so
rip them open. And
I've tasked these guys with looking at that list unknowingly. Actually, they're
for this set of strings.
No, it's for a different one. There's like
which set of strings is it? He doesn't know, does he?
These are bass ones. So this isn't going to match. I took the guitar Slinky.
Okay.
A 2018 edition, and they update it every year.
Wow.
And they add artists to this.
And remove the bad ones.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they just make the print really small, and they just keep adding. Because there's a lot of names on here.
Yeah.
So I've asked these guys to first name 3 bands, their favorite bands on the list I gave them.
You said 3?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
What did you have 3?
I thought it was just 1.
Oh. So I have 2 lists of 3.
I have
depending on my
mood.
mood.
I have 1 list of 1.
Oh man, this
well,
is
3 lists of 1.
Well,
you asked 3 questions. Okay, what's the first question? Go. I can remember.
What's your favorite band on this list?
The Strokes.
The Strokes.
Really?
And then I would. Well, you said favorite, so there can only have 1 favorite.
I had 3.
I had 3. I had 6.
I'll add Alt J to that. I'm really into Alt J right now.
Really?
Yeah, I love Alt J.
Oh,
okay.
That surprises me.
Do you know who they are?
Yeah, my wife listens to
them.
them.
I love Alt J. They're very good.
So,
David?
If I'm in like an early 2000s type mood, like David back in high school, it's going to be Fall Out Boy, pre-2008, because I don't like anything past 2008.
Asterisk.
Rise Against, and then Bullet for My Valentine.
Yeah.
Rise Against the Machine? What was the third one? Sorry, I wasn't
Bullet
listening.
for My Valentine.
It's dark.
A very short attention span. Yeah, those are very emotional sounding bands.
And then if I'm into like weird rhythms and shreddy guitars, Jeff Loomis for sure.
Yeah.
Tool, and not so much shreddy, but more weird rhythms. Incubus.
Mm-hmm. So you did 6.
Yes, I did 2 lists.
He broke the rules.
I thought you said favorite, so I went with 1.
I think I asked you for 3 favorites.
Yeah, what are your 3 favorite bands from the list?
Mm-hmm. Jay likes to read.
Well, I also really like Wilco. Were they on that list?
No.
What did I tell you?
He picked a pack that didn't have Wilco on it.
Can I pick from anybody? I'm gonna go with 90s pop punk. From the list I got Lagwagon.
They were on there?
They're on there.
Oh,
I
that's
knew
a good
that.
one.
Face to Face. And then I have what's my third one?
Descendants?
Yeah, Descendants. The Descendants are on there.
Jawbreaker?
No, they're not on there.
They should be.
So I'm going the pop punk 90s version. So Descendants, what did I say? No,
Lagwagon?
Lagwagon and
Face
Face
to
Face.
Face. Said FaceTime.
I was thinking about putting No Effects in there, but I said 3. So
No.
Yeah. It's really hard to pick 3. There are some
No
good
Effects
bands on there.
always annoyed. When you guys listen to No Effects, you drive me crazy.
I'm going to put that on today.
I like pop punk, but I just did not like No Effects.
Okay. So those are my 3. There's obviously some notable other bands like Tools on there.
and
I'm
System of a Down.
surprised you didn't pick Tool.
Yeah. What's with that?
What's going on with that?
Just make 2 lists.
Is it just
Tool list.
the current Tool stuff is not good? Is that what the problem is?
No. Well, the album actually comes out very shortly. There's one song streaming right now, but
And is it good?
I didn't give it a fair shot yet, so I can't tell you.
I have
no.
I have to hear it in context with the others. I'm not sure yet. I'm on the fence.
Okay.
But yeah, no, the last album, 10,000 Days, I loved it. There was
Oh, really?
4 huge solid songs on there that are amazing.
Okay. I
One of
don't
my
think I've heard- I
favorite
have
Tool
not heard
songs,
that
Rosetta
one.
Stone is on there. I just love that song.
Dude,
so much.
Vicarious is probably my favorite
Yeah.
Tool song.
So that's off the
So good.
most recent album.
So, Jay, your 16-year-old son likes Tool. Why don't you like Tool?
They're okay. They're okay.
That's not what you told me a few weeks ago.
There's a lot of it I don't like. Some of it's okay. It's not something I would ever play. I would ever pick and play. I just
Okay.
wouldn't.
That's one of my Desert Island bands.
I don't really like the sound of the singer.
Okay.
Kind of like Billy Corgan to me. Like I like Billy Corgan, but a lot of people hate Billy Corgan
Yeah.
because his voice is so distinct, and that's how I feel about Tool. And it just doesn't hit me.
Fair enough.
That's okay, yeah.
All right. So what band on here do you hate?
This is obvious. Did everybody pick Nickelback?
Yeah,
No.
I did.
No.
I did.
That was my answer.
Okay.
Since I only had one answer, it was Nickelback. I wish I could go pick some more on that.
No.
list.
let me just say one thing about Nickelback. People
okay,
didn't
that's
start
enough.
hating them until the internet told them to. One guy made a meme and
no.
spread it all
No,
around.
one,
Yeah.
well, until
By listening to-
I
yeah,
hated
listen to him.
Nickelback from the start. I hated everything in that genre. Has just never like the Matchbox 20, all that stuff is not for me.
That's okay.
I do not like it. But the thing that made Nickelback, and I think this is probably true for a lot of people. You're right. The thing that made Nickelback go from like this is just really boring music to this band is horrible is when they played 2 of their hit songs left and right, and they were like pretty much identical. They went together.
Well, they know a formula. They make money.
Yeah.
Oh, the band I chose was AC/DC.
Oh,
I cannot stand AC/DC.
Oh, that's horrible. No. Oh, I love the
Yeah.
AC/DC drum sound and AC/DC drums. I love.
You mean every
funny.
song? Boo, ka,
Yes,
ka.
but it's so good. And then the guitar tone, I love it. And the distinct vocals. Oh man, are you kidding? I
To each
love it.
their own.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of AC/DC.
I'm not either.
I'm not gonna like.
But if it comes on the radio, especially on the radio, it sounds great on the radio, like super compressed, and it's just like
Fair enough.
I crank it. But it's not everything. It's not something I pick on my phone. And listen
Okay.
to. I don't have it on my phone.
So what band on the list would you say is the most obscure that no one's heard of?
Was that one of the questions?
I haven't heard of like a third of the bands.
Okay.
yeah.
Well, one that you know is obscure or.
I need to see the list again. Was that
Maybe
a question?
No Effects.
Yeah, that was a question.
I didn't
guess.
see
Yeah,
that question.
no, I was gonna say MXPX. They're a
I've
pop.
never even heard of
They
them.
were a pop punk band from the '90s, but then they moved. They're still playing, but they, I'm sure they have a following, but maybe not as big as some of the other bands from that era.
here.
Jay doesn't get an answer because he didn't read the full email.
I did.
Let's go to the last question. Is which band of the list would you say you want to recommend to people that maybe they haven't heard of or they should give it a shot?
Oh, is it supposed to be that they haven't heard of? I thought it was
No.
to recommend to you guys to
Yeah.
listen to.
Yeah.
recommend to us
it
or the
wasn't-
audience.
It wasn't that they haven't heard of.
Yeah, it didn't say that.
Yeah.
So I went with the Strokes.
Again,
Yeah.
double down on the Strokes.
I'm on a Strokes kick right now. There was a couple Strokes out. I kind of fell off with the Strokes. I was really into them when they first came out.
Yeah.
And then I kind of fell off just didn't hear about them for a while. And then on Amazon Music, all their albums are on there. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I haven't heard these 3 albums. And one of them is definitely their best album. And so I'm very into the Strokes right now.
Okay, David, what would you recommend off the list?
I would say Tool. Now hold on. I know I'm doubling down.
Done.
But my reasoning is because it kind of gives you a gauge of what you like as far as progressive music. Like Jay doesn't like Maynard's vocals, and
I don't like progressive music.
there you go. If you want to get into progressive music, Tool is a good way to start.
I would agree. It's that kind of music. It's the least offensive to me.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can get into it a little bit.
it's a good bridge.
Okay. I
It didn't take me anywhere. I didn't get over the bridge.
it,
Fell off the side.
Yeah, I did.
It came back around to the bank.
What do you got?
I will pick Silver Sun Pickups. If you guys haven't heard them,
Yes, they're
go
good.
out. They have a good repertoire now of albums. And then they vary. So that you get like the Smashing Pumpkins style early stuff that moves into more of I don't even know what you call it, alternative rock. Their albums sound really good. I think if go listen to them if you like recording and want to hear good band sounds too. I think that's another thing. But if you haven't heard them, or if you just heard them on the radio, a couple songs, go check them out. I recommend them greatly.
Yeah, sweet.
Cool. Thanks, guys, for
agree.
doing that little exercise
That
with
was
me.
fun.
So next time you guys pick up a pack of strings, look at the back and see what other artists are playing and playing these strings. And then maybe like I always make lists in my head. So I'm like, okay, which bands do I like here? Oh, I don't like this band. You know, like, I don't know. That's just me. So I wanted to share that experience with you guys.
Nice.
Jay, let's talk about what's on your left there. Bring that bad boy out
This
here.
is the mighty D'Angelico Deluxe EXL1 guitar.
Nice.
In the beautiful matte red
I think
finish.
is that Fiesta red?
It's like a burned red.
Yeah,
like
no, the Fiesta Red is more of like an orange
More
type
orange,
thing. Yeah.
but this finish is beautiful. I love
Yeah.
it. I love it.
Aim it towards the camera there, Jay. Nice. We got a bunch
See, it's
of
kinda matte,
D'Angelico
kinda-
guitars in just recently.
But they're really cool ones like this.
There's a lot of different assortment of colors. They look fantastic and they sound amazing too.
Yeah, they work really well for like jazz and bluegrass and old school rock and roll type
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
So I think you guys should go check them out. And
We'll
if
have a
you're-
link in the description.
And if you're in town, you should come and play them for yourself and see how awesome they are.
Yeah.
Because they,
I mean, these are really well built guitars, and the Angelico guitars used to cost tens of thousands of dollars because there were so few of them. And now that they're making them, in a more affordable fashion, but they still kept the quality there. They're still really great guitars. So
Look at that headstock too. It's just
I know.
it's a work of art.
it's a thing of beauty.
Yeah.
It is. I love these guitars. They're amazing.
So what would you recommend us if we did a little episode on it? What would you want to put it through?
AC30
Yeah, probably something like that.
or AC15 because we don't have to carry the 30 upstairs.
All right. So
We need a jazz guitar player though, or David's gonna have to learn some new licks because I'm incapable.
Yeah. I do a lot of metal and whatnot, so like
Whatnot.
will that not translate?
I can try to figure some stuff out.
I think you can.
Okay.
All right.
You're classically trained. He's literally classically trained,
Literally.
At jazz.
No.
not at jazz.
No. I can play some seventh chords.
There you go.
Done.
I'll nod.
So we'll try to do that for you guys. But in the meantime, go head over to our website, pixelproaudio.com, and check the lineup out. Also, while you're there, go to pixelproaudio.com/all-access and sign up for our newsletter. That will give you access to announcements about the show and also sign you up for free giveaways. So go do
For
that.
life.
For life, sign up once and you are in. Simple as that.
Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you around the drum next time. Is that how you want to start? Let's move on to what you got there on your left side.
This?
Yeah, that.
Ask me. Ask me a question, Ted. Say something.
Something.
Why are we doing this? What is that?
Because I don't know what this is.
Put your Slurpee away. That sounds like a personal
Give
problem.
you a good look.
Okay, and we're checking nuggets.
Checking nuggets. Ready?
No, I don't care. It's casual.
It's casual.
It's
casual
casual.
Friday.
Don't worry about it. Just don't
Let's
worry about it.
start
It's
in
casual.
like the worst possible pose, okay? That's what she said.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
In the recording business, we say, that's what she recorded.
Don't put that in.
Run.
Okay. All right,
here we go.